At the far edge of the parkland, a famous circuit at this moment surrounded by scarlet as the Tifosi stand expected around their national autodrome. This is Monza, and today the century-old circuit welcomes back the Formula One World Championship for the 73rd time. A Ferrari on pole means we go racing amid a raucous atmosphere. You are welcome to the Italian Grand Prix on a day where the PA is blaring outside the commentary box, but the fan noise could get even louder. There are 11 turns of this 3.6 mile circuit without much of elevation, but with a rich heritage of action all the way through. This was Ricciardo versus Raikkonen from another postcode back in 2017. We look forward to the return of the Australian driver who misses this race through injury for the second week in a row. Alonso versus Webber in 2013, on the brink, masterful driving and respect from both into the Roger. That's the second chicane. This was Sebastian Vettel off the track at the second Lesmo and rejoining back in 2009 when it was Bronze Day in the hands of Rubens Barrichello. These the tyres, the soft, the medium and the hard, the C5, the C4 and the C3, the softest edge of the range for everyone in the field, and it is going to be a real test across the board for all who are preparing to take the start for the Italian Grand Prix. Here is the grid then with Lance Stroll at the back. Kevin Magnussen is in 19th position for Haas, and then it is a row 9 occupied by Alpines, really struggling with the deployment of the electrical energy here. Then it is Zhou Guanyu in 16th position. Logan Sargent is in 15th on the grid. Valtteri Bottas has won a sprint around here before. He goes from P14. Nico Hülkenberg is 13th, a second Grand Prix start, this time from 12th on the grid from Liam Lawson. He's next to his teammate Yuki Tsunoda. Fernando Alonso's worst starting position for Aston Martin is 10th, and then it is Lando Norris in 9th for McLaren. Lewis Hamilton's worst result here in qualifying for a decade puts him 8th. Oscar Piastri is the lead McLaren for the 3rd time this season. Alex Albon has made Q3 for 5 times this season. He's next to Sergio Perez in P5. And then it is George Russell in 4th, next to Charles Leclerc, who is out-qualified at this circuit for the first time by a teammate. Max Verstappen chasing history and 10 wins in a row from the front of the grid. Carlos Sainz, that is such disappointment. Tsunoda pulls off before we'd even taken the lights, and surely we will have to send them round again.
Failure, HG failure.
Copy.
This is on board with Yuki Tsunoda. And that is the sound of your Grand Prix ending before you'd even formed up on the grid. Here come the 5 red lights in Monza, and the Italian Grand Prix is go! Down to turn 1, Sainz is first, then it's Verstappen, then George Russell is on the inside, but Charles Leclerc has the power to hang on to 3rd position as they all make it through. And he's got a good run, DC.
He has indeed. He pulled a slightly different line.
We go on board with Alex Albon, who gets up to 6th position with a super move. Now there's a run for Max. He's going to be sent the long way round by Carlos Sainz, who is desperate to hang on to the lead of the Grand Prix, and that is an elbow thrown by the Ferrari. Would Sainz be aggressive was the question. There's your answer.
Max there, slightly compromised in braking. Carlos is going defensive again.
Perez gets to the inside of Russell, but they were both off the road, trying to make the corner at the first chicane.
Okay, so more aggressive on the braking this time. Goes to turn, well, okay, check go.
And Verstappen, who forced a defensive move from Carlos Sainz, immediately commits to the racing line. There's the first luck up we have seen. Look at the momentum that Verstappen has got. And Max Verstappen takes the lead on the day that he chases history.
Then you can see the slippery Ferrari starts to outperform him as the speed builds. But in the end, he had the inside line.
1 lap later, and as other... Whoa! This time, Perez gets to the part of the racetrack he's been chasing. There is... Oh, he's going to throw one to the inside. It was tight. It's contact between the McLarens at Monza as they go past the iconic timing tower on the left-hand side and taking 3rd place in the Grand Prix. Leclerc was thinking about the late lunch. On board with Lewis Hamilton, a 5-time winner of this Grand Prix. Does he have the room? The answer's no. There's a lock-up. They're both over the road. Hamilton against Piastri, flat to the floor. Oh, he's made contact! He's made contact off the road. They both go.
Which Carlos Sainz is not giving Checo Perez.
Perez is going to risk the nose to the inside and he bails out of the first chicane. Hamilton now with that 5-second penalty hanging over him. Cleared one McLaren. Best run he's had so far for second place. Oh, he thought about it and Sainz went tight to the wall. Perez has got the place. This is so close between the two Scarlet Ferraris who go onto the main straight. Charles Leclerc locked up to give another opportunity to Sainz. That might give him a chance. How did he not make contact? Lock up. Oh, they nearly made contact again. This is really aggressive stuff. Is there a late lunge? There was, and he very nearly went into the back of his teammate. If that's Charles Leclerc's idea of no risk, my word. We are witnessing something that no one has ever seen in the entire history of Formula One. A landmark for Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen wins 10 Grand Prix in a row to take the all-time record. And the Ferraris are scrapping all the way to the line. Unbelievable stuff. Perez is second. It is always absolutely thrilling. Monza putting on a show from first practice to the checkered flag, and a moment of history written in the record books for Max Verstappen.
That's 10 wins on the bouncer record. What does it mean to you?
Yeah, it's of course something I'm very happy with. Something that you don't even think about trying to achieve, because it's very unlikely, that those kind of things happen. But yeah, very proud that it happened, and in general, of course, very proud of what the team has done. Also today, again, I mean, the whole year so far has been pretty incredible. But also 1-2 here at Monza, I think, is pretty special.
Yeah, it is really satisfying to get this sort of result. It was super hard to get through them, but I just gave it all, and overtaking was super hard today. With the DRS really not doing much. If I was not 2 tenths out of Parabolica, I had no options at all. Ferrari were very strong on the straight line, and yeah, the battles were on the limit, but fair. A lot of sometimes I had nowhere to go, so I had to skip turn 1. But overall, a super result.
It was a very tough, very long race for me, but I gave it absolutely everything. I think today was a day to try. Probably I tried even, I would say, too hard. With the Red Bulls, I was pushing a lot the tires to try and keep Max behind. Then obviously it was making me vulnerable at the end of stints with a lot of tire wear and being like this on tires. But I tried, and I think it was a day that we had to give it everything. I gave it everything. It nearly cost me a podium, but in the end I managed to hold on to it.
To be honest, I feel good. I mean, I missed the podium, but Carlos is on it anyway, so a Ferrari is on there. And I would have been disappointed if it was a boring race and we just finished first, second, fourth, like we did now. But at the end, it was really, really fun. I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. I am sure many people did not enjoy that. The guys on the pit wall, I think, had one heart attack or two. The Tifosi probably also, but this is what, for me, this is Formula One, and this is what it should be all the time. With Max, I've had these kind of fights in the past. Today was with Checo and Carlos. We, I think, all were at the limit of the regulation, whether it was defending or attacking, and that's exactly how I enjoy racing.
That was a tough one. I'm sure Lando didn't enjoy it too much, but I did. And we went into the weekend, went into this race with that hot track temp. We knew it was going to be a really tough race. The laps to grid before the race even started, I could tell it was going to be a long race, because the degradation even on the laps to grid was super high. When the track's hot and you're running that low downforce, it obviously puts even more energy into the tyres than what you would like, and we struggled today as a result. I think on paper we actually expected to be a little bit quicker than we were, but yeah, it was pretty clear after 4 laps that was going to be a tough one. And when the McLarens came out the pits behind me, I thought, okay, well, they're going to get past me, and now it's trying to keep behind Fernando. But we managed to keep everyone behind, so I'm very happy.